Hey guys, welcome to Federation Nation. I'm Anthony. This is Collectors Entertainment Network. And this week, we're going to go over Hulk Hogan keeps the belt. But before we get into that, guys, I'd like to ask you, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because I'd love to have you back. Please comment down below. Let me know if you have any memories with this book. Also, please share this video with anyone you think may like it as well. And go ahead and give this video a like, because that helps a lot too. Alright, so a while back, we went over this. Hulk Hogan wins the belt, and I read it to you. It was like story time, and I read it, and we turned the pages, and we looked, and there you go. So we're going to do the same thing again. This is sort of tells the story, although it's not true at all, but it tells the story of Hulk Hogan winning the belt from the Iron Sheik, but it has all sorts of interference from people who were not actually there. So it's a fictitious story. So I haven't even read this. I've just recently got it off eBay. I've had this for a long time. But that one I just got off eBay because I wanted to continue it, you know, get to the sequel, as it were. So Hulk Hogan keeps the belt. We're going to get into that. We're going to see how true it is and how much they sort of stretch the truth. So we're going to do a little story time. We're going to get the camera. We're going to zoom it in. We're going to do a little WWF vintage 1980s Hulk Hogan keeps the belt story time. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, it's story time. Hulk Hogan keeps the belt. 12 collector stickers inside. I actually have the stickers and how the Hulkster beat King Kong Bundy. Let us open it up. Oh, it's sliding on me. Here we go. Let's open it up. Now somebody wrote there. I don't know what that's all about. But here are the stickers, guys. Here are the stickers. Take a look. There's a couple of repeats. In fact, there's only like, I don't know, 3 or 4 stickers total. And then they just repeat them. 4, I think. And then there you go. Hulk Hogan keeps the belt. Let's read a little story, shall we, guys? Sit down on your carpet. There we go. I never get mad over the little things. I save my strength for the big things. And this time, I do mean big. After King Kong Bundy jumped me from behind during my match with the magnificent Morocco, I was really steamed. I couldn't wait until my big match with Bundy. For too long, King Kong Bundy had cheated the good guy wrestlers like my friends, the Junkyard Dog and Andre the Giant. Sure, I was put out of action for a while when King Kong Bundy sneaked up on me, but I trained hard to stay in shape, and I'm not afraid of any wrestler in any fight. I took my vitamins, worked out, and said my prayers. Then I was ready to get into the steel cage with Bundy. Our match at Wrestlemania 2 would be a super battle. Everything I stand for was on the line. One thing I knew, besides keeping my WWF Championship belt out of Bundy's huge paws, I was going to make sure his sneaky manager, Bobby the Weasel Heenan, didn't pull any funny stuff. On the night of Wrestlemania 2, I could tell the crowd was with me. All the Hulkamaniacs cheered as I climbed over the top of the cage. I wasn't just wrestling for myself, I was wrestling for them too. Hulkamania makes King Kong Bundy jealous. He thinks he's the biggest guy in wrestling just because he weighs 487 pounds. But after this match, only one of us could be number one. Whoever got out of the cage first would be the winner, and I sure wasn't planning to be the last one out. Alright, look at pictures of Hogan on the top of the cage. Alright. I couldn't stop thinking about King Kong Bundy's sneak attack the month before. He was one of the meanest wrestlers I'd ever faced, but I was fired up. I had a mission to keep King Kong Bundy in a cage where he belonged. I went after him right away. First I bounced him off the ropes, then I put some of my best moves on him. Every time he tried to escape through the cage door, I ran across the ring, grabbed him, and pulled him back into the ring. Then King Kong Bundy struck back. Everyone knows he doesn't fight fair. He threw me against the bars of the cage and took me to the mat. When I was down, he stepped all over me, then headed for the cage door again. I couldn't let him escape. I grabbed him by the leg and dragged him back inside. Next, King Kong Bundy tried one of his dirtiest tricks. He tore off the bandage that was wrapped around my sore ribs and used it to tie my arms to the ropes. Now that's cheating. While I was tied up, he rushed for the door again. If he reached the outside of the cage, the match would be over. But I broke free and hauled King Kong Bundy back into the ring. By now, I was really hot. The match went on. I thought I'd try a body slam. Picking up King Kong Bundy was like trying to lift an elephant. We crashed to the mat, and he landed on top of me. I knew what was coming next, the avalanche and the big splash. King Kong Bundy nearly crushed me under his huge weight. I could hardly breathe. But I heard the Hulkamaniacs cheering me on, and that gave me new strength. I wouldn't give up. I couldn't let the fans down and let a bad guy take the belt. I was still in the match. King Kong Bundy had done his worst, and I had hung on to prove I was really the best. But Bundy wouldn't give up either. He threw himself at me for another of his famous avalanches. I stopped him cold, and now he was starting to understand that I refused to lose. Every time he tried to get out of the cage, I stopped him. Soon I went for the body slam again. The crowd went wild as I lifted King Kong Bundy, then dropped him to the mat. It was like an earthquake. I bet they felt the shock waves in China. I climbed up the inside of the cage. I would be the first one out and keep the belt. But Bundy wasn't through yet. He tried to stop me from climbing out. I pushed him to the mat. Bundy had one chance left. He ran for the door as I climbed over the top of the cage. If he could make it out first, he would be the winner. Before he could squeeze his giant body through the cage door, I was out on the floor of the arena. The match was over. I raised my arms in victory. The crowd of Hulkamaniacs went crazy, cheering and celebrating. At last, King Kong Bundy and his weasel manager had been beaten. Their plan to defeat the Hulkster and rule the wrestling world had failed. I kept the belt. King Kong Bundy hurried away from the ring to his dressing room. It may not be the last time he'll try to take away my WWF Heavyweight Championship belt, but WrestleMania 2 proved that even King Kong Bundy can't monkey around with me. You too will always be a champion if you play fair, take your vitamins, say your prayers, and look out for your friends. Take it from the Hulkster, everyone can be a winner. The end. Alright guys, that is the end. Let's look at the back. $1.95 in the USA and $2.50 in Canada. And there's your barcode and all that. Alright guys, that is Hulk Hogan keeps the belt. It was a little bit more of an accurate story than Hulk Hogan wins the belt, because that was just nonsense. This is a little bit more having to do with the actual match. Some of those things actually did happen in the match. Alright guys, Hulk Hogan keeps the belt. WrestleMania 2, how the Hulkster beat King Kong Bundy. Alright guys, that was Hulk Hogan keeps the belt. Again guys, please subscribe, please comment, please like, and please share. All those things help the channel, and it is so greatly appreciated. Alright, so that was our second edition of Federation Nation Story Time. With, of course, we first did Hulk Hogan wins the belt. Now we've got Hulk Hogan keeps the belt. I've got a couple more of the kids' books from back then. I've got Hulk Hogan's Guide to WWF Wrestling Superstars. And I've got Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling. So look forward to those in the future for another Federation Nation Story Time. But again, this was Hulk Hogan keeps the belt. And we'll be doing these at some point. So until next time, guys, have a good one.